Hey guys, and welcome to my retrospective on Crash Bandicoot N.Sane Trilogy. This is a remaster collection of the original Crash Bandicoot Trilogy on PS1. Before I played this game, I had no experience with the Crash Bandicoot Trilogy. Growing up, I've had a PS2, so the games I've been playing on that was Sly Cooper and Jak and Daxter. Yeah, my history with Sony's trademark mascot doesn't go too deep, but that's not gonna stop me from reviewing this game. Anyway, this game any good, and something I can recommend to you? Let's find out. This game was released back in 2017 on the PS4, with the Nintendo Switch and Xbox One versions coming out later. First, I'm going to sit down with some ground rules. When a game is a remastering of another game from the past, I think it's just good to check out the differences than just doing a full-fledged review of it. So I'm only going to talk about the differences in each game specifically, and not go like crazy in depth in the games. Let's start with Crash 1. In my opinion, this is the definitive version of Crash 1 you should ever play. Crash controls very well, he goes where I want him to go, he's not as heavy as he used to be, and when I die, it feels like it was my fault. I don't feel that way when with the original Crash Bandicoot. Although, I still did have to get used to the jumping, but for a different reason. Crash is still heavy AF, but if you compare his jumping from the original, you can see how faster he flips and falls, for example. But it does mess with my timing overall, because I expect Crash to land somewhere, won't let myself fall into my death. One of the most obvious problems with Crash 1 is basically having to perfect every stage, just to get the stage's gem. Thankfully, you can now die, and not lose your chance to get the gem. But, if you want to get the color gems, you still have to do the level without dying. And wouldn't you know that slippery climb is one of those levels? Although some levels are still a nightmare if one go for 100% completion like the lab or Vortex Power. It really sucked, but eventually I prevailed and got over 100% completion. But now the infantry has a box striking tally. There's also a lot of cool details, like in the bonus stage, when you see Tana, Cortex swoops in the trees and catches her, but then in the original he was just standing there awkwardly. Time travels has also been added to the first two games. They were already there in Crash 3, but it was required to get to the last two levels in the game. But in the first two games, they were actually optional. But with Crash 1, I don't even bother, because some levels like in Crash 2 or 3 and Crash 1 were just not meant to be rushed through. There's also DLC for the first game where you can play an original level that was supposed to be in the first game, but was cut for being really hard. But they were right, because this level really tests your platforming skills, sense of position, and timing. In fact, this level has the most hardest burrito token bonus in the entire game. If that's not enough to convince you how hard this level is, this is what my life count looked like when I first started, and this is what my life count looked like when I finished. Yeah, this level killed me 63 goddamn times. The only saving grace to this? The music. It's pretty good, along with the rest of the soundtrack of this game. I don't think very highly of the first game. I might even go as far as saying I don't really like it. It hasn't aged well in my opinion as much as Crash 2 or 3, but in this edition, it fixed the problem. I mean, the fact that you can save anywhere is a major improvement over the original. In fact, as far as controls go, Crash controls are a dream, and any problem I had with them in the original works fixed here. But this version exists. I don't see any reason to go back to the PlayStation version unless you're feeling nostalgic, or unless you want to compare the two like I did. If I had to recommend any version of the game to you, it would be this one. In my opinion, everything is better here. I also like if you miscalculate a jump, you can go back and make that jump again to calculate it again. I also love if you 100% one of the three games, you can see Fake Crash in any stage. Cortex Strikes Back on PS4 is also a good game too. I mean, not that I hate the original, it's just that something about this one makes me like it a lot more better. Although there's been a lot more personality added into this game, like more cutscenes and new death animations. I also like the extra details like the weather changing with each stage with the same theme, and the lights reflecting off the crystals once you grab them. I also like some of the different variety in some stages, like in Hanging, you get to ride a jet board, or in Pack Attack, you get to ride a jetpack. It's a you'll never convince me that this control scheme was good. but at least they fixed the final boss. Cortex went down way too fast in the original. Now it takes a lot more longer. But here's some of the details I really love. They're actually giving you some detail while you're chasing him down. I completely forgot Cortex had a crystal before the adventure started. So instead of just flying away, he's making it back to his ship with that one crystal he had. I really love details like that. But they didn't fix the camera for backtracking. I mean, I know it's a pitch-by-pitch remake, but at least have the decency to give us the option to control the camera. Although, like I said, the original Crash Bandicoot 2 aged way better than Crash 1 on PS1. Crash controls just as smooth as it did back in 1997. The difficulty curve is just right, even with the secret passage, and the game even gives you hints to find any clues for the next gem that was hidden in the past games, and that applies to all the other games in this collection.
At least not for
I was gonna get all the
After
relics for
the
this
agony
game,
I
but I just
endured
thought
in
that
Crash 1, I checked the trophy list and didn't see anything new that would happen if I did
Although
the
I might
time
try to
trial.
do it
So I
someday.
will do it in my own
you can
time.
actually
Hell, you
unlock
can
the
even
Crash
unlock
Dash
Crash Dash
boost
boots
in this version,
of
so I
the
might
game. So I'm
do it in
excited
my
to
own
replay the
time.
stages.
Although they did change the ice physics though, they're a little more less heavy, but no matter how much remastering you do of it, Cold Hard Crash will always be the bane of my existence.
Still a dick fleck. True, the ice physics aren't as bad, but unless you got invincibility from Aku Aku, you're still required to be painfully precise with slippery jumps between these goddamn nitro boxes, which I swear
they're a lot more closer than they were in the original.
And in the route itself, there's even a
And in
little
the
metal
route itself,
box
there's a big giant metal box with the middle fingers. Like they knew how much of a fucking mess this level would be. If you can get past that minor annoyance, then you can find Crash Bandicoot 2 on PS4, a pretty solid game. The controls are as smooth as ever, it has a great soundtrack, some in my opinion are even better than the original, and it's available for a new generation. And in my opinion, this is the best game in the entire collection. The game isn't nearly as hard, and has a nice dose of variety. Finally, let's go on to Crash 3. It wasn't as hard as the first two, and it was the first one that I beat in the collection. Playing it again though, I wouldn't say that it's the best version of the game, but I still see it on equal heights, which is still still pretty good. Like I said with Crash 2, the difficulty is pretty fair most of the time. I really like the variety in this game and all the powers, although the Bazooka Blaster was kind of forgetful to me. Not only did I forget about it when I was playing in the game, but I also forgot it while writing the script. That proves with the belly flop is a lot more faster to reaction time and just doesn't hang there like a dumbass. But my favorite move out of all of them is the double jump plus the death tornado. I'll never get tired of that. I also thought it was pretty cool that there were still some glitches available like spin jump that gives Crash extra height, which really makes bosses like Dingodile a complete joke. Speaking of the bosses, they're pretty cool, especially bosses like N-Trophy and Dingodile, which are a lot more faster and aggressive to attack you. And with the new controls for the plane, it makes the engine fight a lot more fun. The animals throughout the three games feel so much better and control so much smoother, although the hog does kind of feel a lot more stiffer than he did in the original. Although I wouldn't say terrible, just much different. But the other two animals felt no different. It's just really a problem when I'm going for a time trial or getting the gem, because I've missed more boxes than I can count. Then there's the motorcycle levels, which were kind of I just don't like how Crash just insists infinitely when he goes on a speed pad. I also don't know why people complain about the Area 51 level. I mean, sure it's annoying at first, but once I got in the powder, I got used to it quickly. The water levels kinda suck, but to be honest, they weren't really good in the original anyway. Like I said, the new controls for the plane makes these stages a lot more fun than they were in the original, except for Rings of Power though, that level. And then there's the jet ski levels. Jeez, what the hell did they do with the jet ski? It doesn't turn as tight as it used to, and it gets really slippery when it's on ramps, especially when there's nitro crates around. If you compare it side to side with the original, you can see how slower you can move in comparison. I mean, I got used to it over time, but the original did it way better. You can get past that minor annoyance. Crash 3 on PS4 is still the same amazing game that it was before, with a couple of things wrong with it. It looks better, it sounds better, and it's available to a new generation. As far as controls go, I have no problem, not even with Crash 1. With the new controls, it didn't make Crash 1 any more harder than it used to be. Don't get me wrong, it's still pretty hard. As for the graphics, I mean, what can I say, they're gorgeous. I mean, the graphics look pretty good on the PS1, but here it's just, wow. The soundtrack has also been faithfully remastered to my liking. My favorite song in this game is the Time Twister music. That song is just so good. So let's summarize. I love the graphics, I love the gameplay, I love the soundtrack, and the controls feel really good. Here are my closing thoughts. The my opinion, this is a remaster at its best. It does what a remaster is supposed to do, in my opinion. Take an awesome game and make it even awesomer. The game actually spawned the Crash Team Racing Nitro-Fueled remake, and the game that I actually pre-ordered recently, Reunited Trilogy, for the Nintendo Switch. Why I'm getting the Switch version, it just gives me more reason not to get a PS4. All in all, guys, Crash Bandicoot N.Sane Trilogy is a pretty good game. It takes what was good about the original games and cranks it up to 11, and what wasn't good about the original games and omits it. So I really recommend this game if you're nostalgic for Crash Bandicoot, or unless you want to play this for the first time. And since I play this a lot first time, I actually spent 100 hours on this game, I can say that I'm a fan of Crash Bandicoot. So yeah, anyway, let me know in the comments below. Is Crash Bandicoot N.Sane Trilogy a game you like? It's something All in all, guys, Crash Bandicoot N.Sane Trilogy for the Nintendo Switch is a pretty good game. It takes what was good about the original trilogy and cranks it up to 11, and takes what wasn't good about the original trilogy and omits it. So I can really recommend this if you're nostalgic or you want to play this for the first time. And since I played this for the first time, you can actually, if you're friends with me on Nintendo Switch, you can see that I played the game for almost 100 hours. I can say that I'm a fan, so let me know in the comments below on your thoughts about this game. Is Crash Bandicoot N.Sane Trilogy a good game for you? Have you played it, and something you can recommend to a friend? Let's find out. Next review, we're gonna be going to a franchise that I hold dear in my heart, so I hope you look forward to that. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.